My name is Kathy, and I am a newbie embroiderer. I'm having such a blast. I'm in love with this craft. I don't consider myself a crafty person, even though I'm an artist, and I have been for my entire life, professional artist for over 30 years. I am a new embroiderer. I'm not big on doing a lot of crafty stuff. Well, that's not necessarily true. I do love doing crafty stuff, but I don't consider myself to be super detailed in terms of right angles and getting things perfect and all this. I am like the imperfect crafter, you know what I'm saying? Things are always kind of wonky, and that's just the way that I do things, and that's fine. That's why I consider myself like non-crafty. Anyway, in October of last year, my sisters and I were visiting my family in Utah. We ended up in a Michael's getting some embroidery stuff. It was just kind of a wild thing that we did. That's living wild, going to Michael's, getting embroidery stuff. I have always really been a fan of other people's embroidery, but I've never gotten into it on my own until now. And I'm like old, okay? Kind of wild. I'm very into it, but I'm also remembering what it's like to start something new and all those feelings that you have. And I wanted to share a lot of this with you because I think it will help somebody. I'm breaking this video down into talk, tips, and textures. Let's do the talk first because the talk is important. When you're starting something new, you really have to detach from the outcome, because when you're starting something new, it's all about curiosity and learning and finding your way. Okay. And a lot of that is why I don't always like to jump into learning by watching videos and stuff like that, because I kind of want to feel my way around the craft a little bit intuitively first. And then when I need some guidance, when I get to that point, then I will go to a book or go to YouTube and look up different stitches and stuff. And that's exactly what happened. When I first started doing this, it was last October, and we went to Michael's and I got some embroidery stuff, and I didn't even really know at all what I was doing. I was just starting. And that's fun, because that's a fun way to start. Going in blind is fun. It's exciting. You don't know what's going to happen. I always think it's really good to start from a place of a personal kind of passion. If you have a pair of overalls you want to embroider on, then that connects you to something that you already have. It's a curiosity more than it is I want to have this done perfectly. It's more let me go on this journey with this thing that I already treasure, and we'll see what happens. But the problem with that, or I should say the dichotomy, because it's not necessarily a problem unless you make it one. The kind of dichotomy with that is, well, what if you mess up? Then you messed up your overalls. You messed up whatever it is you're embroidering on, right? Because it's one of your first projects, and you're going to get a lot better fast, right? Or maybe not fast, but you're going to get better eventually. Take the journey. Do your beginner embroidery on something. Who cares? You're going to be proud of it because you did it, and it's new, and it's something you're proud of that you did. Maybe 3 months down the road, you might look at it and be like, oh my God, I'm so much better now. But number one, you're probably still going to love it because you're probably still going to have that fuzzy connection to it. Oh my gosh, this was my first project. You're going to have that emotional response to it, that positive one, because you gave yourself the opportunity to try something new, and you have all those fun, curious feelings and that creativity. And that's good. It's probably going to be really cute anyway. And it's probably still going to be cute and charming, even if you're a better embroiderer now. Down the road, if you want to take the embroidery out that you do and do different embroidery on it, that's fine. I say take the journey with it. I think it makes you better at what you're doing when you're giving yourself the opportunity and you're not letting your ego get in the way of your creative process. Because that is just the killer of creativity. Always thinking about the outcome. Stop. Don't do that, because that is just not where creativity lives. It's a totally different place. So take the journey, take the opportunity to just be curious, be creative, and do something new. I really am only on my second project ever. I only started looking at different stitches and stuff watching YouTube videos as I go. So if I want to learn a specific kind of stitch, I just find a YouTube video, and then I breadcrumb the information as I go. because I don't want it to slow me down. Kind of why I like Skillshare, the class platform, and why I teach there is because that's kind of how I like to learn. I like to learn intuitively, but then I also like to get information when I want it. And when I want it, I want to have it like easy access and quick, right? I like to pick and choose what information I want to introduce into my process as I go. So lead from a place of curiosity, lead from your intuition. How is this going to improve your life, right? So it's also combining your passion for trying it or trying the new thing. If you're looking for a specific outcome immediately, then I would suggest you hire somebody out to do it. Because if that is your reason for starting and reason for doing it, I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed because it is a learning curve. It's a process. If all you want out of something is to have something done, then just hire someone to do it. If you're into taking the journey, having it be something that you're, excited about, or just if you are excited about the learning process of it, then like go for it. And if you do go that route, don't beat yourself up for like learning. Don't beat yourself up for like it not being perfect or for making a mistake or for, your stitches not being the way that you pictured them in your head, because they're just your stitches. It's okay. I don't do things perfectly, and it's all like self-acceptance. It's like a process, and it's an ongoing management thing too. Embrace your uniqueness and embrace your own wonkiness and give it a go. Let it go. Let that perfection little moth fly away. Or let's say it's like a little fly. Get it out of my ear. I don't want it. Yeah, just let it go. So I want to show you my first project that I did last October and that I just never really went back to. And then I'm going to show you the one that I started a few days ago. So I just want to show you how I'm progressing. Even though my first try is like obviously not as good, I don't care. I still think it's charming and cute, and I would still wear it on my overalls. And it's super messy, but I didn't really know what I was doing, and I was just having fun. And then I did a little bit there too. So like really rudimentary. I wasn't sketched out or anything. And I haven't really sketched anything out yet. I did sketch a little bit, very, very general sketch on this one. This is my second project. I got this pair of shorts overalls off a Depop. They had a rip in the leg. I was just going to sew it. I put them on to try them on, and the rip got worse. And I realized the grain of the fabric was vertical, and the rip was right where my thigh is. So the more I would walk, the more it would rip. The grain is like this way, so it would just rip all the way up. So I was going to sew it, but I'm not a great sewer. I'm not going to sew a lot. So I was like, well, this would maybe be a great project for my embroidery, for me to get that embroidery bug. Did I know that I was going to like start going bananas on this overalls? No, I didn't. I was like, I'm going to give this a shot because it'll be like a fun thing to just sort of do. Sometimes I cut up my t-shirts. So I saved some of the fabric from one, and I sewed up where the rip was. I needed the reinforcement because of the way that the rip was. Here's what I did. So the edge is still raw, right? I might do like, now that I know a little bit of stitches, I might do like a blanket stitch all around this edging. I'm not sure. Here's where the rip was, right here. I used a piece of t-shirt fabric and I did like a basting stitch all the way around it. The rip ends up here. I probably would have used denim if I could go back. I thought I would embroider on it to just sort of reinforce it and also do something cute. Really got into doing these little French knots. Most of this was just like me kind of goofing off. While I'm doing it, I'm like, this is like really fun. So then I did the top. I did a little bit of these little flowers. And these are just little French knots. They're super fun to do. And then last night, I'm like doing more because I'm like, well, now I want to do something on a pocket. So then I did this cute little mushroom. And now you guys, now I'm like, really getting into it, and I'm like, if I actually do a sketch first, this could get really cool. I'm kind of letting it naturally unfold this whole thing. It's like super fun. Now my mind is just going bananas with ideas, which is kind of wacky because I don't want to overwhelm myself with like, oh my God, so many things I want to do. So here's my like basics embroidery kit. You do not need a lot of stuff to start this. Really, you really don't. You need some embroidery needles. Get like a pack of the 7 needles. That's what I got. One of these little needle keepers. It's like a Altoids. You could use like a mint tin if you have one. Don't run out and buy something like this if you already have something. I'm a magnet freak, so I always have magnets around. All you need is like one of these that's magnetic and then a magnet. Comes with a little magnet in here. Here's the magnet it came with, that little thing. The little tiny ones are just kind of like, you could do better than that. I actually put a bigger magnet in there. My needles just like attach. It is nice to have your needles already with thread on them because that makes it easy for you to just like start. I'm just haphazard sometimes. Like I just always have like stuff around me. So I gotta be careful with this because I could hurt myself, you know, like I could hurt myself. And a nice pair of sharp little tiny scissors is good too. This is another reason why magnets are good because you can just kind of collectively keep things together like that. And then all I have is a couple of these hoops. They're like $1 each. You can get them at Blick. A bunch of these embroidery flosses. You can get them for like $1 each. I like the DMC brand. There's a million different other kind of brands you can get online, but I'm kind of sticking with the DMCs because I know that they're good. Happy with them. I don't want to get crappy thread. That would really bum me out. That would be like buying bad paint, which it is kind of depressing to get paints home, something cheaper, and to realize like that there's no pigment. That stinks. I just don't want to give myself that bad experience, especially because they're just not expensive. They're not expensive anyway. So like, why? Why torture yourself? Future me thanks me for buying DMC thread, basically. I don't have a lot of tips yet because I haven't been doing this for that long. But I will say, one tip that I think is like worth mentioning at this early stage of where I am is when I'm done with a section and I'm knotting it off, because when it gets too short, you can't knot it. One thing that I discovered that I can do and that allows me to use more of my string, instead of doing this, is taking the entire thread and knotting it and needing to have all that extra space to do that, I started splitting it. And then I knot it from there. If I do it this way, you can work longer with your thread. So if you only have a little section to finish, you think you're going to be able to finish it, but your end is just going to be shorter before you knot it. This is a good way to go. At least it is for me now. So I split my embroidery thread, and then from there, I will do my little knot into my, to close it off when I'm done. And that I'm failing doing it on camera, but doing that allows me to use more of my thread and also to finish a section. So for instance, last night when I was doing this, I had like a tiny little section left here to do, but my thread was like that. I thought I'm going to take a chance. I think I can finish it, and then I'll try knotting it using that other method where I split the thread and just then I knot it like a bunch of times, like maybe 4 times. And it worked out really well. I got to use more of the end of my thread and I successfully knotted it. So that's a little tip. And maybe I could have learned that from a YouTube video, but that's what happened. It's fun to have those discoveries on your own too sometimes. Another tip goes into the section 3 that we're going to do, textures. Here's one more tip before we go into textures. I made my own bobbins out of cereal box instead of buying them. I'm all for using what you have. There's so much waste. I mean, I don't even need to go into it. Also, I just have so much stuff. I have stuff. We all have stuff. Why buy something when you don't need to? These work great. My last video was about this, about making these. One of those no-brainer things, but like, it's so easy to do. You know what I mean? It's so easy to do. And I think I like mine better than if I was to buy some in a store. Don't get me started on those plastic ones. Like, really? Really? We don't need that. Last part of the video, textures. Let's talk about what we're going to embroider on. Yeah, I'm a super new embroiderer, like brand spanking new, love doing it. I was looking up fabrics to embroider on, and then I'm like, why don't I just look at my closet? I have tons of stuff that I'm trying to get rid of, and then I have tons of stuff that I never use. Either I need to send to Goodwill or I need to send to my city's recycling. They actually dispose of them in an ecologically sound way. First, I was looking online for fabric to make like something for the wall. I realized that I'm embroidering on clothing already and that I have a lot of clothing and I have a lot of textiles that are not yet recycled or not yet donated. What do I have that would be appropriate to use for an embroidery project? I have plenty of stuff. Really nice canvas bag. When I went to a trade show, it's really nice canvas, like it's a strong canvas. I don't know if I will keep this or if I will embroider on it, but I never use this bag. Maybe I've used it once or twice. I don't know, but I haven't used it in a long time. So this would be a good candidate. I like the natural color. The inside looks like this. I don't mind that you can kind of see the pattern, this on the inside. Another added interesting thing that I can work with. Make this kind of fun. I would work that into the design somehow. Another one of these bags that I got. This one is a lighter fabric. The holes are kind of bigger. I like a tighter weave, but I think that would work. So I have these two canvas bags. We all have canvas bags in our closets probably that we're not using. So I have a pair of pants. I love this fabric. I think it would be really nice to embroider on. They have cute pockets, these little zipper pockets. I think I actually might cut these pockets off and put them on something else and then embroider it on. I also think this fabric in and of itself would be really fun to embroider on because I like the tightness of the weave of the fabric and I like the lightness of the fabric, but it's also opaque. So it's nice. Here's a dress. It's like a cotton poly knit fabric. It's slightly thick. The weave is tight. It's black. This is kind of on the cusp. I probably wouldn't donate it because I don't think it's in good enough shape to donate it really. It's a little pilly. Used to wear this dress so much that I have two of the same dress. Look at how cute these buttons are. I'm going to cut these buttons off this and I'm going to use these for a project. It's not pilly on the inside out part of the dress. It's nice. It's not too thin. I think it would be easy and not like hard to embroider. I also think if you poke a hole in this and then you take your needle out, I don't think you're going to have a gaping hole. That's another thing to look for. My current project, overalls that I was showing you before, when I poke a hole and then I take it out, you can kind of see the hole. It's not a big deal. It's all learning, right? I'm learning about this stuff. So I might use this for a project. There's one other dress I have. I haven't shut the door on depopping this. It's a denim dress. It's cute. I've never really loved the cut of it. It's a dark blue denim, but it's thin. It's got a little bit of stretch to it, but not so much that I think that it would be a problem. And it's pretty. It's dark. So this could be really cool because like some good bright colors would show up really nicely on it. And also some lighter colors would show up really nicely on it. This is a possibility. Thank you for watching today. Thanks for listening to me ramble about embroidery. I hope that this helps in some way. We can all learn new things. We can all have new passions. I'm really enjoying this new hobby. I don't like to call anything a hobby because I'm always thinking about how can I add this to my business. I don't know. I just can't help myself. I'm really excited about the possibilities and I can't wait to start integrating my artwork into it. I have some big ideas for things I want to do and embroider. It's almost like a little bit of overwhelm, which is not always cool for me to do. I don't need to get overwhelmed. I need to just enjoy. This is like such a fun thing for me right now. I'm just so enjoying doing it. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please like it. If you like my content, please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you here. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have fun, whatever you do, and I hope you do something creative today. Bye.